Hello everyone, this is Dr. House with Cumberland Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. You see the visual aid here. I got this complex looking thing. I'm going to try to use this to explain number one, foot pain. Okay? Number two, tightness in a muscle. Okay? Number three, in general, what soft tissue, right, muscles, nerves, all that, soft tissue, scar tissue or adhesion is like. If any of that rings a bell, you're going to want to stick around. All right, to have an ideal foot that's not set up for foot pain, you need two things. Number one, an active or an awake spring. This part of the foot, called the midfoot, is kind of the spring or the shock absorber. Now, we don't need an aggressive spring, one that's way too rigid and tight, but we need one that's awake, okay? Number two, you need good mobility at this mortise joint, okay? This guy right here is the mortise. If it moves really well, plenty of range of motion and nice range of motion, then you got an ideal foot, okay? What we see a lot of times during our day, here's my analogy. I want you to pretend that these guys, the two broom and mop handles, they are the bones, heel, metatarsal head, ball of the foot, and back of the leg, okay? They are where the bones, where these soft tissue things insert, right? These guys are the soft stuff, the muscles, the nerves, the fascia that that inserts into those bones, okay? So when things are working right, we shorten and then we tighten up, and all these strings, they tighten up in concert, right? They're the same length, good normal tissue. But let's say I take one of the strings and I tie a knot in it, okay? I tie a knot in it. Instead of all the strings working together in concert, this one tightens up. The range of motion gets a lot shorter, right? So the person would say, man, I've got all this tightness going here. I've lost ankle mobility, right? This loss of ankle mobility and pulling right here on this insertion site on the bone tends to give people the typical common problems, such as Achilles tendonitis, right? Right where it inserts here on the heel. Plantar fasciitis, where one part of this soft stuff inserts into the heel. Metatarsalgia, right? There's even more, but all those are places where the soft stuff is jerking on their insertion site way too much all day long. So you've got foot pain, or you've got soft stuff, tightness, whatever. What in the world caused that? So I know I had a knot in here a second ago, and everybody tells us, hey, I've got a knot, feel this. But in reality, what happens is it's not exactly a knot. It's that life, old injury, whatever, has left behind wear and tear. Wear and tear leaves behind scar tissue. Scar tissue acts exactly like Velcro, okay? So let's say we've left behind Velcro. What usually happens is a couple of those soft stuff strings get Velcro together, okay? So now let's say they're Velcro together, and again, I've got this same problem, okay? You can stretch this all day long, and that is admirable, okay? If you've got foot pain, try stretching first, fine, okay? See if it works. If it does, great. But if it doesn't work, just realize that you have a Velcro problem likely, okay? How in the world can you get Velcro apart? This is two pieces of Velcro. If I pull on one piece of Velcro and I pull on the other piece of Velcro, I'll never get it apart. But if I can take my finger and stick it in between the two layers, no problem, okay? That's what we do in this office if your home stretching fails. So now we figured out our knot situation. So let's say you've gotten one of the most common foot problems, right? Plantar fasciitis. Somebody comes into our office and they say, man, my foot is killing me when I first stand up on it after being off of it for a while. All right, we've got a job to do here. We have got to find and undo that Velcro problem that we talked about over here, right? So let's say you got this Velcro problem in your soft tissues, the muscles and nerves, Velcro problem somewhere in the chain. We've got to undo that Velcro. We've got to heal up that spot where these Velcro tissues have been jerking on that sensitive site for way too long. Number three, we got to wake up the spring of your foot that has been compensating for way too long. So I hope that makes sense. This problem happens literally from head to toe, fingertip to foot. And so if you've got a problem that's kind of out of hand and you need some help with it, we would love to help you. This has been Dr. Ryan House with Cumberland Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, where we get you better faster.